Hello, everyone. It's Shalora back here at the Convention Center, and I'm so excited to show you the very best of PAX West.
Hi, I'm Kyle Vong. I am the video producer over at Eastford Games. Love Eternal is made by our studio, Broca Studios. So Love Eternal is a horror meets precision platformer. The way I've been describing it kind of as an elevator pitch, it's like if Ari Aster decided to make a precision platformer.
Okay.
There's a lot of focus on kind of the horror of not knowing what's happening, what's going to happen next, and just seeing how we can best meld that with the precision platformer genre, specifically with the two main gameplay mechanics of Love Eternal being flipping gravity and jumping.
Yeah, there's kind of these like moments where there's just like sudden events that kind of occur and that just take you right out of the platforming. And I mean, it's this like really nice kind of like break, but also like you're not really taking a break because something scary is going to happen or something interesting is going to happen. And I think that's a really good mix of like your fingers are taking a break, but your mind is not taking a break. How did the mix of, I mean, if you know, the mix of horror and platforming kind of come together in this way?
So what I can say is that there was a lot of different inspirations, precision platformer-wise, one of which being like VVVVV, which is another pretty iconic precision platformer that features gravity flipping.
Okay.
And so Toby had experimented with the foundations of Love Eternal in an itch.io game called Love, which essentially is kind of like acts as kind of like a precursor to what Love Eternal would become. And so being able to play around with that and seeing how to introduce a new aspect that maybe hasn't necessarily been highlighted so much in precision platforming.
Yeah. It makes me think a little bit of Celeste, but like I wouldn't say Celeste is like horror at all. There's like maybe some like horror aspects, but not. I wouldn't say it's horror.
Yeah.
I really like the art of the game.
Yes.
There's just something about it that's like very like kind of stark, but also like homey. And I was wondering if you could tell me more about the art and like, maybe the artist or artists behind it.
Yeah. So at its core, Broca is a two-person team. There's Toby Alden, and they do most of the programming, the game direction. And then there's Sam Alden, who does the art direction and the pixel art of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a sibling duo because of the shared last names. But it's really interesting. So Sam Alden, I believe, is currently a professor at USC. Out in Southern California, but they were also a storyboard artist for Adventure Time.
Cool.
And so I wouldn't say this is exactly Adventure Time style, but a lot of the proficiency in that level of being able to convey what you want to convey is definitely evident. With kind of this desolate, it feels like you are very unwelcome in the region that you are in. And I think a great mix of those two is the playing around with the aspects or the playable area of the screen. How in the beginning we start out with that small thin rectangle that we're moving Maya through, but the instant we step through the doors that's already been opened, we don't know what's going to happen. We see the whole screen fill up.
Yeah.
And so playing around with that negative space is a common motif throughout Love Eternal. And I think it's a really beautiful way of melding both player control as well as art direction in order to create a vibe or an atmosphere of like, oh, okay, we're like, it shifts your brain into different modes.
Yeah, for sure. I now that you're saying it, I'm like, yeah, there's like all this negative space and it's just so like almost claustrophobic in a way.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. And like when you're going through everything too, like the way that some of these rooms they seem meaningless, but like there's something about it that's like something here. I feel like there is a lot of really specific seeming imagery going on throughout the game. Can you does that kind of note anything throughout the story that we might experience? I mean, obviously, but
there's definitely like aspects of the different settings that were placed that we put the players in that come around to certain elements later on in the story, but ultimately I believe that that's something best left to player interpretation, and for people to find out once the game releases.
Yeah, to be honest, when I was researching a bit more, I feel like the Steam page kind of spoiled it, which is not bad, but maybe don't read the Steam page, just play the game.
I'd say even what we have on the Steam page is
Not enough?
not
Okay.
representative.
Okay,
So
good.
if it feels like if there's 10 layers, what's on the Steam page is maybe layer 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what you have here is layer 3, and there's still so much more to go. It
Okay,
truly
good.
is just a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
So
Okay, good. How much of the game is there? Like, how long should, like, at my pace, for example?
Ooh, okay. So, seeing as you had some familiarity with it, I would say the average person should expect, depending on their proficiency of precision platforming, can expect around 5 to 7 hours
That's not bad.
coming out of Love Eternal.
Yeah. Are y'all expecting any speedrunners?
That's definitely a community we see
They love stuff like
being
this.
drawn towards. Yeah,
Yeah. So I was just curious.
but.
Um,
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I think at its core, even for those not focused on speedrunning, it's gonna be we want it to be a great experience for people to go into.
can you tell me more about Maya and like who her character is?
Yeah. So working off of what's presented in the game and just how that ties into certain elements later on, we get the sense of Maya being just a little bit disconnected from the rest of her family. You go to the dinner table, and it's I wouldn't say, or for me, right? It doesn't read as anything hostile, but there's like a lack of warmth,
Yeah.
and that doesn't mean that it's necessarily like explicitly cold, but there's a lack of warmth.
Yeah. Like a negligence.
Yeah, and I think being able to explore that through Love Eternal and the later parts of the game, you kind of get a better picture in some ways of what that life is like. But that feeling of isolation, that feeling of being alone, loneliness is a very pervasive motif throughout Love Eternal. And so being able to kind of show that in the way kind of a suburbia setting
Yeah.
can kind of emphasize, and hits oddly close to, in a really uncanny way, was a big focus.
Yeah. Thinking about it, like you kind of get that sense, like right off the bat, like she's kind of crumpled in a corner right at the beginning of the game, like completely off center,
Yeah.
not doing like any kind of a task or like an activity, which I think a lot of people growing up can relate to. I know you're not the dev, but like,
Yes.
what do you think the devs hope people take away once they finish the game,
Ooh.
or what do you hope that players experience?
I think experience-wise, being able to approach Love Eternal for what it is and what it presents and the different narratives that it brings forth.
Right.
Really being able to kind of take in the environment. This is why while we see speedrunners being a dimension, that focus on story and narrative is definitely a huge part, as well as a huge part of the intent of our devs. So we want to be able to preserve that. The gameplay is fun. I believe it feels great. But
It's
also,
very good.
but also the story elements are also a huge focus. And
Yeah.
it's something that both Toby and Sam have been very explicit in wanting to focus. So for players to be able to take Love Eternal both as as a fun game experience, but as a narrative experience, as a story as well, with that focus on ambiance, that pervasive theme of loneliness throughout it, kind of also factoring all of that in.
When can we expect to play Love Eternal?
Yeah, so Love Eternal has no public set date yet, but it is planned to be released in 2025.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to play it. I am kind of good at platformers, but then there's usually a point where I fall off. But we'll see. But, thank you so much.
Yeah. course. Thank you so much for your time.